I'll invite the children from the Gan up one more time to sing, and then of course everyone is invited to partake in the refreshments again. The mitnachim will be blown up once again for the kids to jump and play around on, and anyone else who would like to have their picture taken digging some of the dirt, by all means can come up afterwards, after the children sing, and partake in that. At this point in time, I'd like to invite up Sganit Rosh Ha'ir, Naomi Tsur, we just spoke about a moment ago, to share with us a few words as well.
I think this is a most wonderful occasion and extremely moving, and I'll tell you why. Because Jerusalem, which our sages said earned not only 9 out of all the 10 measures of beauty in the world, unfortunately has 9 out of every other 10 issues that could possibly be mentioned on earth. And we've got a lot to deal with in this city. And there are people trying to build synagogues in neighborhoods that don't want them. And there are people in conflict and not managing to get their act together. But what's going on here, I'd like to just say a few words of appreciation of the rabbi and all the wonderful community. This is an act of sustainability. Now, when we talk about sustainable living, in Hebrew, we call it kayamut. And in Hebrew, when we observe our Jewish practices, we talk about kiyum mitzvot. But there is a new concept in the Hebrew language, which is chayim mekaymim. So instead of having Yehudim mekaymim mitzvot, I think we have a new concept, Yehadut mekayemet, a sustainable Judaism which not only builds a synagogue, but builds a community in a place where it's needed. And I want to tell you that this adjoins one of the 40 urban nature sites that has been given statutory recognition in our city plan. And what I would like to hope is that part of the tradition of the building is not only to build it green, but to educate the community with green Jewish education. And that will bring great hope and wonderful results for our city. And I look forward to working together, and I invite all of you to come to the committees that I chair in the municipality. They're all open to the public. The Environment Committee, the Urban Planning Committee, come and take part. Some of you have done, some of you do, because what's happening here is people taking responsibility for their own environment, and that's what can make a city thrive. So, every success to all of you. Thank you for inviting me. I feel very privileged to be here.
Just one last word, and then I'll invite the children up. Just want to mention, I'm sure you're familiar with the prophecy of Yechezkel. The prophecy is the resurrection of the dead in the valley of the dry bones, that all of these bones come together, they're gathered, they're then connected to create a skeleton, and then that skeleton is infused with flesh. I've heard often that this is a mashal for the resurrection of Am Yisrael and Eretz Yisrael. That first individual Jews have to come here, and indeed, after the Shoah, many of those people who came here were actually dry bones. And people continue to come here. And then, of course, the second stage is that these bones have to come together and form a skeleton. And these individuals have to form an infrastructure. They have to build schools, and they have to build roads and hospitals and a government. And then after that becomes the most exciting part, which is to infuse that infrastructure with a flesh, with values, with vision. And I think that's what this building will do. We hope from this building the values of a Judaism that's filled with joy and meaning and ethics and chesed, that's concerned with every Jew, respecting every Jew, passionately pursuing Jewish unity, that these values will leave forth from this building and touch the entire world. And indeed, infuse with flesh, infuse with values, all the rest of the institutions throughout our great land. I want to thank everyone for coming today. Once again, welcome the children to come and sing. And as I said, we will conclude. Everyone's welcome to the refreshments, again to jump on the jumping castles, and whoever would like their pictures taken by continuing the process of building this new building.
להצטרף. ושנה